You're looking lovely, Khadijah. Thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you. You look beautiful as well, so thank you very much.
Thank
My
you.
sister, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting us take a journey into your current book, Black Sterling. But before we come to your book, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
And I'm an author and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also a black liberationist. So I have a strong belief in the liberation of the black race. So that's kind of just about me, and if people want to know more about me, they can read Dark Girl Boss, because in Dark Girl Boss there's actually my story within there, with other stories in there. So if they really want to know about me in depth, they'll find out more about me in Dark Girl Boss.
How interesting. So Khadijah, you've written several books, Dark Girl Boss and Black Sterling. But today we're looking at Black Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Khadijah, you've written. What was the driving force behind you writing this book?
Well, I had an epiphany when I was actually on the beach in Barbados in 2016. I mean, as I said, I always had a strong belief in wanting our people to progress and have self-reliance and collective black wealth. And I thought to myself, how can I get the word out, the message to my people to start to unite and build black liberation, self-reliance and collective black wealth. So as I said, I was on the beach in Barbados in 2016, and I thought to myself, I'll write a book and I'll spread the message, because with books, it's so far reaching. I can reach, internationally, I can reach my people. So I thought I'd write a book. So that was the epiphany I had on the beach.
So it sounds like you didn't actually have a holiday, but it was a working holiday and you've achieved something out of it.
Well, what happens is when you're in an environment where you feel really comfortable, you start to become creative. I'm a creative person anyway, so I find that when I'm in a really relaxed environment, my creative juices start flowing, and that's what happened with Black Sterling.
And you do personify creativity, even in how you look, your attire, your hair, everything.
Thank you.
You definitely know you're a creative person.
Thank you.
So Black Sterling, as a title, is not only interesting, but captivating and iconic. How did you come up with this strong, powerful name?
Well, when I came back from Barbados to the UK, I put together a launch team, and that launch team actually consisted of my family, members of my family. So I knew I had this idea for the book. I knew about what the book was going to be about, but I didn't know what to call the book. So I put it to the launch team, and everyone was putting forward their ideas, and I was saying yes, no. So it's going back and forth, back and forth. And then my son, my youngest son, who was a part of the launch team, he said, okay, what's the book about? Then you think about what this book is about. So he thought about what the book is about, and then he came up with the title, Black Sterling. And straight away I thought, brilliant, I actually love the title. Everyone loved it, we all loved it on the launch team, so Black Sterling was born.
And it's definitely a title that everyone would remember. It's very captivating. So this book, Black Sterling, who is the target audience?
The target audience is the black race generally. That's not to say that the book won't resonate with every single person, but for those that are looking for unity and change, somewhere to go forward, then it's the book for those type of people. So I'm trying to find like-minded people to go on this journey with me so that we can unite and progress from there.
So that comfortably fits into my next question. Interracial relationships are on the increase, and it could be said that integration is in progress. So where do children of dual race, specifically white and black, fit into your current paradigm?
Well, to be honest, I mentioned mixed race children in Black Sterling actually, and one of the examples that I give is Mark Duggan. We all remember Mark Duggan, who was shot down by the police in Tottenham some years ago, 2011 I believe it was. And I say that the police didn't stop and ask Mark Duggan what race or colour his mother was. They saw him as a black man. So I think that mixed race children are seen as black anyway, whether or not they identify with black, because there are some that may think that they are white and identify with just the white side of themselves, but society sees them as black. So it's open for mixed race children, I think, to come on to this journey for black liberation with us.
Thank you, Khadijah. So it's quite clear from your book that race is very profound and fundamental to you. And you've highlighted the struggles throughout your book that black people have experienced throughout time. So is there any hopeful success for black people in 2019, moving forward in an integrated society? And can you just give us some reasons also for this answer?
Well, the integrated society, the whole Black Sterling theme and concept is about separation. So it's about liberation, and it's about separating from the current systems that we're in. Excuse me. So once we unite as a race and we start building our own ecosystems, our own infrastructures, we then separate ourselves from the systems that we're in. So even, for example, we're still living in Britain, but we can still function separately from the systems of Britain. But it takes a whole, a lot of people to be able to start building those infrastructures.
That is quite an interesting response to, obviously, race and culture. And what I'd like to find out from you is how you feel about Nelson Mandela. As in The Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela talked about reaching emancipation through forgiveness. As one of the crucial answers, what are your views about this?
I just think, if people want to forgive other people, it's entirely up to them. I suppose it's a positive thing to do, but I don't really have time to waste on forgiveness. I think it's a wasted energy. I think that we need to think about how we're going to progress as a people. We don't need to be concerning ourselves with forgiving people. We need to be concerning ourselves with how we're going to progress and move forward, how we're going to survive in the 21st century and leave legacies for the next generation to come. So I think that forgiveness, to me, really, it isn't something that I really think about, or I think that we should be thinking or doing. That's not to say that people can't do it if they want to, but I just think it's a wasted energy.
Some would agree with you, and some wouldn't, Khadijah. But in terms of moving forward and our younger generation, and where do they fit into your paradigm? You frequently speak about Malcolm X and the teachings of Marcus Garvey, who were renowned political, social, economical, and psychological agents of change in their time. However, for the current children of today, who are best placed to be their role models?
There's a problem because we don't really have that many role models now today. So for me, it's important to look back to the role models that we had, because the message that they had, the likes of Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and other people that I mentioned in my book, in Black Sterling, they had a message, and not only did they have a message, they had a system in terms of how we could achieve black liberation, self-reliance and collective black wealth. So to me, it's looking at those messages and being able to mirror what those people did. So we don't really, I can't really think of any specific role models that we have. There are role models within the community doing, really great things. But in terms of quite famous role models, we don't have any really today. So I think that we need to be looking at our past role models and taking from them and moving forward with their message.
So how would you identify with other symbolic, for example, black women who are considered to be agents of change? How about Oprah Winfrey? Would she be considered to be a role model?
Not to me, and I'm going to be frank, because Oprah Winfrey is still tied into the system. Oprah Winfrey, she has achieved, but she has achieved a lot, but she's achieved with the help of people within the white supremacist system, and she actually comes under those people. She's governed by those people. So I wouldn't aspire to be an Oprah Winfrey. I'd aspire to be an Oprah Winfrey within a black economic system, but not within this system that we're currently in.
Thank you, Khadijah, for joining us on Ultravision Television and sharing your book, Black Sterling, with us. Khadijah, your book is very eye-opening, and some would agree and some wouldn't. But we're very grateful for you coming on the show and sharing your book. On that, what would you like to say to the audience?
I'd like
What's
to say,
next?
well, there's a couple of things. First of all, read Black Sterling, because people have said that it is really a book for change. You need to read it, and not only, it doesn't just tell you about what's happened in the past and where we need to go forward. It actually has 7 inspirational steps within it. So easy steps that people can follow so that they can work towards black liberation, self-reliance and collective black wealth. And Black Sterling, I'm actually going to create a Black Sterling Foundation, and that's going to start off in Gambia as well. So there's a foundation that will look at helping people into business, helping less fortunate children, like maybe orphans, those of our young boys that have been incarcerated. So the Black Sterling Foundation will help move towards all the principles and concepts within Black Sterling, the book.
Thank you, Khadijah. So if you would like to learn about Khadijah Ward's concepts on emancipation and subjugation, please follow the link below where you can get a copy of her book.